Okay, we're back. Was there something wrong with the sound in the intro? I forgot how weird this YouTube live is. I have no idea what's going on or if anyone is there or they can hear anything. At least on my phone, there's something wrong with the sound here. Why was that? What about my microphone? Live is. I have no idea. Yeah, that's fine. Microphone. I don't know why the intro was like that. No idea. Okay, so I haven't done one of these in a very long time, probably 6 months or something or more. So here's the deal. I'm going to start doing more regular YouTube lives, except the next 3 weeks I won't. So today I'm doing one, then I'll be in Philippines, then I'll be still in the Philippines, then I'll be at IBC, and then after that we resume. So towards the end of May until early September, I'll be able to do regularly these Thursday night live YouTube lives, because most of the time I'll be in Finland. If I'm traveling to some race, then I won't do it, but most of the summer I'll be in Finland, so I'll be able to do this. Actually, today what we need to do is we need to figure out what I should do when I have these lives. So Q&A is obvious, get some questions, answer that, but maybe we could have some kind of segments that I always hit on. Maybe one sort of setup feature, talk about that, or something relevant that's just happened in RC, talk about that, or I don't know. So just give me some suggestions and we can come up with a plan. And what I'll also do is I'll do a live public on YouTube for about 30 minutes. And then I go to the Mayako Discord. And then we have a 30-minute live there with all the Mayako members. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about 2 new setups. So I'm trying to develop a new setup around a particular idea for the car. So some things on the setup we adjust a certain way, and then we don't change those. We keep those the same and work around those settings in a different way. Try to achieve a different type of setting. So a car that handles well, but using a different kind of setup. So we're going to talk about that with all the Mayako members, and they can also join in and try to make their cars work with those settings. Then after the Mayako member live, then I will have live on the Invisible Speed Discord for 30 minutes. And the online course for Invisible Speed, you can join it anytime. But the way we do it is each year we have sort of 4 separate parts of the course where we have 1 week of lives every day, and we have Robert, Jared, and David Ronnefalk. They also join the meetings, and the idea is that we go through certain things. They also give their viewpoints on those subjects, and then we have homework. And now for the next weeks we are doing homework in the Invisible Speed course, and that's why we have these lives. We talk about the homework and how people are progressing and also other things. So today we'll talk about breaking down a corner into I could show you actually. Let's see. I'm gonna share What should I share? This StreamYard has changed. Slides. You have no slides. I can share slides. Nice. Well, I'm going to share a screen here. So today, for the Invisible Speed course members, we're going to go over sort of this new way of presenting setup options. If I can just remember where I saved it, that would be good. Okay, here we go. Window. Oh, okay. There we go. You should see a picture, hopefully. So this is what we'll discuss with the Invisible Speed course members today. So just the different sections of a corner and talk about driving this section. But mainly the idea is that if we think that we have these different sections, so 1 is just braking in a straight line, 2 is corner entry, 3 is sort of what you would call mid corner, and then 4 corner exit, getting on power, and then full power. So we have these 5 sections. 2, 3, 4 are cornering, 1 and 5 are driving in a straight line. When we have different setup changes, for example, anti-squat or anti-roll bar, axle height, where do they actually affect the car? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about different settings and see that, okay, so this change, it mainly affects the car in this number 2 section, so on corner entry. That's really the only part that we consider when we make this change. Or maybe another one, okay, this change, it affects the car mostly in number 4, when you get on power exiting the corner. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about there. Yeah. Am I frozen? I don't know. On my screen, I'm frozen because I shared something. That's been an issue here with my great computer. An issue here with my... Yeah, looks like I'm frozen. I don't know. Fix my laptop. Okay, seems to be working again, hopefully. Okay, hopefully you heard all of that. Someone comments, so I know you could see the corner and hear what I was explaining. Let's check some comments here. Someone needs me to restock apparel, shirts and hats. I don't know. It's not my department anymore. Let's see if we had some good suggestions here. Can you discuss tuning with clutch shoes and springs, carbon and aluminium, when to use and spring rates, etc.? Maybe, but not today. There's still noise. Is the audio okay, or there's still some weird noise? Okay, or there's still some. Seems to be okay. So anyway, so that's what I'll be doing. Over the summer, Thursday nights, we'll have live on YouTube, 30 minutes, followed by Mayako member live 30 minutes. Today we're talking about different style of setup that all the members can start testing. And then after that, Invisible Speed course live, where we're talking about homework and new ideas. Everything about explaining setup and learning about setup and driving. So today, I don't really have any plan for today. I haven't really prepared anything for this public live. If I get good questions that are easy enough to answer, then I'll answer them. Did I freeze again? Bauman, I need you. Anyway, Eddie asks, I have more steering off power. When on power, I feel the car pushing. How can I balance this out? There are many different ways to balance it out. This is really annoying me that I keep freezing. At least I'm frozen now with the question there, so. If you need less off-power steering and more on-power steering, thicker diffs helps. Thicker front diff, thicker center diff. Thicker front anti-roll bar. To reduce the sort of steering into the corner, through the corner. I mean, I assume he runs an S-Works. So pillow ball car. I don't know. I'm too frustrated with this frozen screen to think, but mostly if it's a sort of on-power, off-power thing, then it has to do with diffs. Most of the time, I would say thicker diffs, more on-power steering, thinner diffs, more off-power steering. So in this situation, when you go to thicker diffs, you'll have less off-power steering, which is good, and more on-power steering, which you want. I would like to hear what you liked about the one-dot insert on the arm during testing. So we have inserts for the shock location in the arm. Number 1 is inside, 2 is middle, 3 is outside. And number 1 is the furthest in, and that's what we ran now. We haven't really been running it before, but if you want to hear about that, you have to join the Mayako members stream after this. Bauman is asking when my retirement of racing video will be online. My new deadline is my birthday which is 29th of April. So I guess, yeah, I'm at the race, Philippine Masters. After that race, it will go online. That's a hard deadline. Like, I really have to release it. It's only 4 months late. So I'll make sure to release it. Brake balance in the corner that I showed. Well, that we would have to discuss in the Invisible Speed Live, not here. How do you get rid of out of the turn on power wiggle on HB? So what he means here is fishing, like Robert says. So when you get on power, especially on a slippery track, the rear end doesn't want to sort of grip, square up and go. Rear end will sort of want to fishtail a bit when you're accelerating. So instead of doing the corner and going straight, you do the corner and then the rear wants to sort of wiggle, right, like that. I'm pretty sure that's what he means. So ways to get rid of that. You can raise the rear roll center. So you raise the arm on the inside, just 0.5 mil will already help. Or you can lower the upper link on the tower. That will also help, or raise the link on the hub. All those things raise the rear roll center, and all those things will help to stop that wiggle side to side, which is really annoying. You can also, yeah, that's really the best way to do it, I would say. Yeah, so do that. That will cure it. Eddie's birthday. I think you asked the question, so that was your birthday present. A reply to your question. 1 day late, but still. Happy birthday. Taco named Paco says, thank you for the videos. Just getting into off-road racing after years of drifting. Cheers from Texas. Well, you're welcome. There's a bunch of videos to watch on the channel. So, can mention something about Droop. So Wayne says he runs 107, 121 Droop. That's actually a completely meaningless figure. No one knows what Droop you run because we don't know what car, what shock positions, what axle heights. So that measurement isn't actually the Droop. The shock length is only good for you to know if you know what shock length to run in a particular setting. And then you just keep checking that and make small adjustments. But to compare between cars, pointless. You need the actual Droop that you measure, like the ruler lifting the car, for example, with tires on. So the actual measurement, or then you put the car on blocks and measure to the hex, and then you report the number in relation to the bottom of the chassis. So the center of the axle in relation to the bottom of the chassis, above, even with, below, how many mil below. That's a measurement you can compare between different cars. If you're in the Invisible Speed Discord and you keep getting kicked out, that's because you aren't using your real name. So when you're in the Invisible Speed Discord, because it's an annual subscription, throughout the year, people's subscription ends and I kick them out of Discord. But if you don't have your name there, I don't know to kick you out. So anyone who doesn't use a real name gets kicked out. So that's why that happens. So yeah, Michael Hess, you should sign up as Michael Hess and then I won't kick you out. When will you let us know who won the membership for joining Invisible Speed? You know what? That's a really great question. Let's do it before I go to the Philippines, okay? Let's do that. What was it? Like can't even remember what it was. If you join Invisible Speed, you get a Mayako membership, I think. Yeah, we need to make that happen. The older I get, the more droop I have. You might have more droop when you get older, but you should also run more droop when you get older, because more droop on the car will make it more forgiving, and that's gonna help you. That's gonna be a good thing. So I recommend that you run. More droop as you get older. RC Savage says, hello from Greece. Malaka Pustis. I think that's how you said it. Am I going to the e-buggy Euros? Yes, I'll be there in Germany. Have you installed your shocks upside down yet for a test? Not this decade, but that video I made for the Hall Brothers, that still stands. They haven't actually done the test that I asked them to do. I'm pretty sure that if they do, they'll find that it works better, because they say that, yeah, the track is flat, so the unsprung weight doesn't matter. Well, it does. They even showed pictures where one wheel was in the air. So all of those moments when the car rolls to the point where a wheel is in the air and then it hits the ground again, those will be worse with more unsprung weight. What you want to do is you want to have less unsprung weight, but then control the rebound on the piston. Run the piston you have now, slow down the rebound. Run the springs under the piston also to even further slow down and resist rebound, and then run really hard springs and hard oils. That will make the car stay more flat and level. So it will still roll, but not as much. You'll have more corner speed. You have a lot of precision because you have hard damping and hard springs. But you still have enough, give to do jumps and landings and feel comfortable driving around the track. I guarantee it's better than turning your shocks upside down. That is the lazy man's way of, oh my God, my car's good. No. If you actually take the time and set your shocks up properly for carpet, it will be even better. That's a money-back guarantee. Eddie just started 8-scale off-road nitro racing. First practice this past Sunday. Fortunately, he has an S-Works. I don't know why he doesn't have a Mayako. But anyway, thank you, JQ, for helping me with all your videos and the Invisible Speed book. Yes, this year there'll be a second book, actually. Let's see. Let's see if I can keep that deadline of this year. There's still 8 months left. Yeah, but I need to include chapters about driving, racing, and practicing with a purpose to improve, like how to actually improve. And yeah, those kind of things I need. And also a chapter on sort of the mental approach to racing and because RC racing is all happening in your head. It's extremely mental. Wayne agrees with me. He says that I'm correct about the car's ride height, camber, and droop. They are the ticket. The basic things are very important. When you get them right, they do wonders for your car. Will you ever send Smoker a new car? Eventually. Eventually, I will build one and give it to him. And he'll be good for a month, and then it will be all wasted and he'll be struggling again. Someone from Basil from South Africa asking about the Mayako Truggy. I have no idea. Let's get the damn e-buggy out first. I have 5 minutes until there's a Mayako meeting. How is it 5 minutes? I thought it was at 9 o'clock. I have 12 minutes. Probably be a bit late. Yes, I'm going to the track tomorrow. Yesterday was the first day at the track in Finland for me. And tomorrow will be the second. Just charge my receiver pack. I'm good to go. The book, is it a real book made of paper or digital one? As I want it, but want paper. Well, I don't know what rock you've been living under, but this is a real book. Real paper. See? By chance, I opened it to this page where I'm talking about Droop. Giving the length of the shock doesn't help. You measure to the hex or... Oh, too much light. To the hex or like that. The actual physical droop. You measure that. Those you can compare between different cars. Shock length, irrelevant. How do I get towards my usual speed on unfamiliar tracks? This is something we've discussed in the Invisible Speed course, but quickly, because I have a Mayako meeting coming up. I can say that. The problem in RC is that, unlike in other forms of motorsport, there's no risk of bodily harm or no risk of death, injury. There's no danger. Because of that, we get overly ambitious. Most of us, we drive too fast, enter corners too fast, try and do ridiculous things that our skills won't allow. And if we are constantly going over the limit and driving too fast, we don't have an idea of where the limit is. What we need to do to be able to learn new tracks or know what to adjust on the car or understand how to drive faster is we need to slow down to where we are fully in control. And when we can drive consistent laps around the track and we can stay on the racing line and we can have consistent lap times while driving on the racing line, then we can begin to have a connection to the car where we feel what the car is doing. We can drive a section of the track the same way multiple times. Then we can try to increase our speed. And at some point we'll notice, oh, now the car pushes and I can't stay on line here. And in this corner, I lose the rear end. So we have discovered the limit of our skills or the limit of the car's performance, maybe. So at that point, we back off a bit so we can do that section well again. By doing this enough, we will find our limit. So we slow down so we can first be consistent, slowly, not caring about the lap time, just staying on the correct line. And then we begin to build speed. And that's what you would do on an unfamiliar track, but any track really. That's what you would do. And when you discover the limit of performance of the car or of your own skill level, that's where you can either focus on developing your driving to, okay, I keep losing the rear end in this corner when I try to go faster. Is there a way I can drive it where that doesn't happen? So you can practice your driving to improve. Or you can make a change on the car, drive the same way, and notice, oh, now I don't lose the rear end anymore in this corner, where previously I did. So then you can make changes and actually learn to see the results. Does that answer your question? So how do I get towards my usual speed on unfamiliar tracks? You do that by slowing down. Slow down. find a consistent pace, connect with the car, and find your limit. That's how you do that. I need another Nobel Prize for answers. That was a good one. I found that slowing myself down in the radio helps. You should forget about slowing stuff down on the radio and slow your inputs down instead. That's what I recommend. The only exceptions are, in my opinion, like you can add, like in touring car, for example, you can add some negative expo on the steering to make it a bit smoother. Or I guess you could do it in off-road also. But mostly I would leave the radio and practice doing those things with your inputs. Less mistakes are always faster. Well, not always, but mostly. Okay, let's have one final question. Actually, not a question. Let's have some suggestions for what I should do when I start having these YouTube lives. Like, what should we do? Should every time we do this, should we have a rant, for example? Like a rant about something in RC? Just, for the hell of it. I like to rant about stuff. That could be one thing. So maybe in the week leading up to this live, we could figure out the topic for the rant. So that could be one thing. And then have like a 5-minute really good rant. I said this is a therapy session, so ranting is good. So I think we should always have a rant, definitely. And maybe sometimes can bring Lefty on so I have someone to yell at, And then also Lefty makes the rant better because he definitely has a dumb comment that I disagree with, which I can then rant more at. So yeah, rant, maybe include Lefty. Okay, what else? Should there be some other feature, something that we do every time? Can you tell if a new track will be good for you or not by just looking at it? Yes. If it has Astro or carpet, then it won't be good for me. It sucks. And if it's dirt, it's good. Okay, here's a good one. Mike Kirk says, is there enough YouTube footage of races that every live session could contain a short clip of something good, amazing, or bad, disappointing? Yeah, this is a good one. So video analysis. And it can be about something that happened, like an incident, a takeout, for example, or then a section of the track or something where I comment on driving, or something where I comment on car setup, something like that. And I think that the best way to do this is you need to send me these clips. How do we do that? In YouTube comments under videos, for example, or then someone can also post their own videos. But I'm just thinking, like, how can I get these? How do we do that? Maybe just comments on my YouTube channel under YouTube videos. So as comments, and then if I make a post on social media, Instagram or Facebook, then can also comment there. But basically, the topic of the rant I need from you guys, and the video to analyze I will need from you. How you're doing in your racing career? Well, maybe my racing career is done, but maybe we can have a sort of Mayako update also. So how's that going? I think that's already enough. So we have a rant, we have a video analysis, and a Mayako update. That sounds good, I think. For each trophy in your room, a short story. Well, that's going to be tough. I included 3 of them, I think. 3 trophies are in my retirement video. So there's a story about them. That's enough. And they are still here because I still haven't finished the damn thing. Still haven't taken a picture of them all. And so I can return them to the club or take them to the RC club and they can reuse them. Okay, now I have 1 minute before my Mayako live, so I need to go. You're going to be late. Yep, I'm going to be late because it's starting in less than a minute. Okay. Anyway, that was the first live. Now we have a few weeks off, and then I'll start doing them regularly for the whole summer. So anyway, thank you, and good night. And see some of you over in Mayako and Invisible Speed.